All right. Now we're doing W3Schools HTML tutorial, HTML styles CSS. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It saves a lot of work and can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. This whole thing's done with CSS. Here's a square right here that's a little bit transparent. Here's another square with a border around it, and the border's rounded. Here's another square right here, this green one that's a little bit less transparent than this first one, or it's in the front, something like that. And then here's some words right here that are in a little block, and there's some padding to it. Here's some more words. They're in a completely different font than this one. And there's a little padding between the spaces. There's also this box right here and a different color right here. So this is all done with CSS, and here's what CSS is. It's basically cascading style sheets, which are used to format the layout of a web page. With CSS, we can control the color, font, the size of the text, the spacing between the elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, and all kinds of other stuff, just like this up here. The word cascading means a style applied to a parent element and some other stuff right here. So let's go over here to using CSS. So CSS can be added to HTML documents in three ways: inline, internally, or externally, right? So inline is by using the style attribute inside of the actual HTML elements themselves. We can also have a style element inside the head section, or we can do it externally by linking and by using the link element to link an external CSS file. The most common way is to add CSS is to keep the styles in an external file. But in this one, we're going to be using these ones basically because it's just easier. It's easier to program. That's how I see it, at least. So we've got inline CSS right here. An inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. An inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. What else? The following example sets a text color to this and another text color to something else, all right? So this one's text color blue right here. It's color blue and then color red for the H1 and the P respectively. All right, so this should be blue and this is red right here. And so that's how that goes. All right, so let's go to the next thing. Internal CSS. An internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. And the following example sets the text to this stuff right here. So basically, it's going to make the body background color powder blue, this text blue, and this text red. And this is all inside of this style tag right here. That's inside of this head element right here. All right? Pardon me. All right, so we've got the powder blue background, the red text, and then the blue text. Let's put quotation marks around those color names right there. So here's external CSS. An external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages. To use an external style sheet, all we have to do is add a link to the head section of each HTML page. If you've been following this channel a little bit, you've seen probably this link rel equals style sheet, href equals styles.css. And basically that's just how it's linking the CSS file that's inside the folder that this actual page, this whole page is in or whatever. It links it to that. So let's go over here and it's just the same as before, except for it's taking it from here instead of in here, like with this one, all right? So let's go to here. The external style sheet can be written in any text editor, blah, 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 blah. So basically that's it. And this is what it looks like here. So body, some curly braces right here, background, hyphen color, and then powder blue, and then the same for the other two right here. So with an external style sheet, we can change the look of an entire website just by changing one file. Yeah, imagine that. All right, so CSS colors, fonts, and sizes. So here we will demonstrate some commonly used CSS properties. We will learn more about them later, okay? So here's color, font family, and font size, and I'm sure you can guess what they all do. So here we're doing H1. We're going to have the color blue, Font family is going to be Verdana, and the font size, we're doing it 300% of what normal H1 is. And then red here, Courier for the font, and 160% of what normal P is. All right, let's check it out, see if it looks like something. So yeah, this is much bigger, 3 times as big as the H1, and this one's 160% bigger than the P right there. All right, cool. So now we're on to CSS border. The CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. We can define a border for nearly all HTML elements. So to use the border property, we do border like this, and then 2px solid powder blue. All right, this is the width. This is, it's instead of a dotted line, it's a solid line, and then powder blue is the color, and we've got these borders right here, all the way down to here. All right, so we've got those borders. Now we've got CSS padding. CSS padding property defines the padding or the space between the text and the border. So this is going to put a space in between the border and the text. All right, and so we're going to do border right here, and then we have the padding 30px. So you see right here, all this 30px on each side of this paragraph. It would be more on this side, but this is already really long. But yeah, so hopefully you get that. Down here, margin, property defines a margin outside the border, all right? So let's check that out. So we're gonna have margin 50px instead of padding. So you see this is the margin, the space between the borders right here. There's also margin up here and margin down here. All right. Let's see what else we got. Okay, link to external CSS. External style sheets can be referenced with a full URL or with a path relative to the current web page. So this one's got a full URL right here, and it links to this stuff. It makes this happen. This one's inside, pardon me. So this one's to the full, this one uses a full URL link to a style sheet. And this one links a style sheet to the HTML folder in the current website. All right, so here's an HTML folder right there. And then this one has the style sheet located in the same folder as this page, this one right here. And it does the same thing every time, like that. All right, and so now here's the chapter summary. Pretty much a bunch of repeated words right here, and it just goes over all the stuff we just went over. If we want to learn more about this, there's the CSS tutorial. We'll be doing that later. So now let's get on to this exercise, right? So start the exercise. Use CSS to set the background color of the document body to yellow, all right? So right here, we're gonna say body. Body like that. Then we're gonna have our curly brace. And then we're going to say background hyphen color, and it's already yellow right there. And then we're gonna have another curly brace right here. All right, let's check it. What? What is body just B? What are we doing here? That should be good. Oh, background hyphen color. There we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Now use CSS to set the font of the document to Courier. So we're going to say font family right here. Font hyphen family. All right, let's check it. Looks good. All right, so use CSS to set the text color of the document to red. So we're just going to do color here, as we've been doing so far. Color, like that. Submit it. Looks good. All right, now we're going to use CSS to make a yellow 1 pixel thick border around all paragraphs. Pardon me. So for the paragraph, we're going to do P right here, and then 1 pixel border. So 1px, or no, border. Border, 1px, solid yellow, just like that. Let's see if it works. Looks good. All right, so that's it. Now we're on to HTML links. And so now we've got these style tag links if you want to check these out. We've also got this full list of HTML tags right here. And we're going to go to the next page, HTML links, and we'll see you next time.